Hey, what's up, y'all? We are back with the Spotlight DMV, and I'm so excited to be talking to my good friend Ebony Rose. Welcome,
Hi.
Ebony.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a honor. I've seen all the ones that you've done with everybody on various topics, so this is cool.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, listen, I'm excited to be talking to you today. And I know we want to talk about your school supply drive, but
Yes.
of course, before we get to that, we got to take it back because we got to talk about you.
Okay. I'm not the best at talking about myself, but I'll try.
So, what I know you as, you have a dance fitness business, and I've gone to a few of your go-go workout classes,
Mhm.
and we would have a good time. So, are you still doing your workout classes?
I do. Because of the pandemic, I moved my Ebony Rose fitness classes to a virtual platform. And while, yes, outside is still open, there are still some people who love working out from the comfort of their home.
Yeah.
So I just do everything is 100% on Zoom. And then I may do like a special pop up class, or if an organization or agency reaches out to me, I will do a class for them. But 9 times out of 10, it's always going to be on Zoom. Uh,
Yeah.
while I would like to go back to in person classes, one, finding a location is difficult. And even trying to do it outside is just too dang hot. Don't nobody got time to be sweating from the workout, and the sun is
The
barreling
sun.
down.
Yeah, well, regarding a location, I know that in this area, it's been pretty hard to find locations for, for smaller businesses, that are not like event halls, and just it's expensive to rent a location around here. It is really, really expensive. My goodness. So, how did that, like, before the pandemic, you were out of a gym, and then the pandemic hit and you went virtual after that? Did you do any outside classes at all?
I still try to have like one or two classes be outside,
Mm-hmm.
but there were a lot of technological issues with that. Setting up one, having my iPad on Wi-Fi so that the people who could do it on Zoom could still participate. Then it was lugging equipment, from my home gym to wherever we were going to have class at. Then, PG County, one day you can do it in a parking lot and you go back the next time and it's totally different, or you get
Yeah.
cited with a citation. So I tried to do a couple of them, but then it became too much. And I was like, I'll just, roll with it and pivot and just switch to 100% virtual.
Yeah. And I find that, a lot of small businesses did, the ones that were trying to be hybrid, the technology piece was a barrier.
Yes.
Um, So I'm glad you made the decision to go all online, and that that's working out, and that you have people that are still engaged and they still rocking to that go-go beat.
They are. It's not as big of a group as I would like. Um, but I also understand it's summertime, and again, outside is open.
Yeah.
And despite outside costing $1 million, on, like, I think, what is it, wind down Thursdays.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
I teach class on Thursday at 7. So if you I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna wind down with my friends, a nice beverage and some music. People want to go outside, so that's fine. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. Once the fall hits, and also I haven't put myself out there. I used to post about it all the time, and now I just stopped.
Well, so that's what I was going to ask you. When do you have classes? Give us the rundown of your schedule and how people could join if they want to. If they
Okay.
And what classes do you have too? Because I know you did more than just the go-go dancing. You did other classes as well.
Yeah. So right now, I condensed my class from 4 days to 2 days, and I have a hit class on Tuesdays. That's either like a hit boxing class, or it's just a hour hit workout where we combine strength, mobility, and conditioning, using various types of resistance, whether it's resistance bands, dumbbells, a stair, a Bosu ball, or a stability ball, whatever, a chair, it don't matter. We would use it. Um, and then on Thursdays is always going to be dance.
Mm.
We're going to dance. I've opened up the genres of music, so it's not just go-go focus. So you will have some pop,
Oh,
some
nice.
hip hop. I may even take it back, give you a oldie but a goodie. I'm talking like Poison or Tina Turner.
Oh, you
I'll go
talking my
back.
thing. That's what I want. I want
Yeah,
the
I'll go
throwback.
back. Like Dougie Fresh, songs that our generation grew up to and jammed with that, we
Yeah.
can still listen to now. And even in those classes, we'll use resistance bands. We might use light weights like little dumbbells or water bottles or whatever somebody has around. And then it's like any pop-up class. So I still try to offer free classes because I know that while the pandemic is over, um, inflation is high.
Yes, it
um,
is.
and so you have everything costing more, but of course our salaries are not increasing at that same level. So I still try to offer like one or two classes a month that are free, or I'll step outside of my normal comfort zone of doing strength training or dance, and I'll be like, all right, y'all, we're going to stretch. We're going to,
Mm.
because most of us sit behind a computer all day. So our hips are tight, our backs are stiff. So I try to incorporate those things to, round out the wellness of the people that, trust me with their fitness journey.
Yeah, and I think for me, stretching has been so important. Like even so I have a monthly massage, and I can do either a massage or a stretch. And I've come to love the stretch over the massage because just
Mhm.
like you're saying, a lot of us have such sedentary lives. We don't get out there and move. It's like we're stiff. We are so stiff. So those stretches they're needed. They're definitely needed for your to round out your whole well-being, like you're saying. So I'm glad that you offer that. And then speaking of offering free classes, um, this is something that you do for the community, like you were saying, to help add value to the other work that you're doing. And so you wanted to talk about today the school supply drive that you're partnering with. Let's see, you're partnering with Within Reach Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
Okay. So, one of the things that was instilled upon me since I was a child was always giving back. Um, Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. So I relied on donations from the community, whether it was school supplies. I was a Girl Scout, so we did all that type of stuff. School supplies. I think one year my family probably was a part of the Angel Tree through the Salvation Army.
Mm.
I always seen my mom give back. She would do her spring cleaning and throw out all the clothes. And I'm like, what are you doing? I need those. I still wear them. And she'd be like, no, we have to give to those who don't have it. And even when I didn't understand it as a kid, because I'm like, well, we don't have it either. I was blessed enough to have enough to be able to
Yes.
give. And so as I've gone through life and grown up and, seen different things and been in certain parts of town across the DMV, you see the lack of resources.
Yeah.
And then, especially when it comes to school age children, we love to say that children don't hide nothing. They tell you what it is, they tell you how it is. And sometimes they don't understand that the comments that they may make, whether they're making fun of somebody, joning on somebody, that can impact that individual's mental health.
Mm-hmm.
But also, in order for any of our kids to actually learn in school, they need the proper tools. They need pens and paper, notebooks. They need all of that. And as the education budget shrinks in certain areas, your PG County or, the various wards in DC,
Yeah.
so does the resources that those children can have. Um, Also, teachers don't make a lot of money. And
Right.
teachers are typically the ones that take on that burden of, a couple students, even if it's one student in their classroom doesn't have enough supplies. Typically, the teacher will go in their own pocket and buy it. Or when they're decorating their classrooms, they'll already buy extra. But it's like they're already stretched
Right. Right.
teaching some of the lowest paid professionals, in the country, despite all that they do. And it's like, well, that's not cool to them either. And so a couple years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, it was just like laid on my heart to start doing little events. So I started with school supplies. And it was literally a Facebook post.
Mm.
You participated in it back in the day, and you still continue to do so. It was like, hey, y'all, I want to collect some school supplies. Y'all can PayPal me and I'll do it. And I had no idea, I had no vision. I didn't know where I was going to give these bags out to because, of course, you have religious organizations giving out stuff. First Baptist
Yeah.
has a big back to school drive. Uh, some of the Salvation Army, all of them do it, and those are very large ones. But I feel like in those situations, it's still a particular population.
Hmm.
So even though I put it out there and I had no real course of action, I reached out to some local homeless shelters to find out, what they needed and how I could get that stuff donated to them.
Yeah.
Um, and then I even just walked up to the schools and was like, hey, I got a whole bunch of notebooks. Can y'all use them? And whoever was working, preparing for the kids to come, yes, give us whatever you have.
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of how this whole thing got started. And then it's been a part of what I like to do every year. It makes my heart smile to just be able to give back and have an impact, especially on kids.
Yeah, and I really love that you're thinking about some of the populations that are unseen, right? Because like you said, the larger organizations. And of course, you'd want to help everybody if you can. And so I love that the mission is to fill in the gaps of people that may have been unseen when it was time to receive these resources and things like that. And like you said, you've been doing this for a while, and I had no idea that that's how it started. And so I'm glad to see it grow and that you're able to collaborate. And yes, this is the time of year where a lot of organizations, they are asking for donations for backpacks and for school supplies and for, some of them are asking for gift cards. Like some of the teenagers, they want other things that they need to maintain because it's not just school supplies, right? It's all kinds of things that we see in our area and in areas of Prince George's County because, like me, you are also a Prince George's County resident. And
Yes.
so, yes, it's good that we are blessed enough to give back. I really love the analogy that you gave in the beginning of, this was something that you've been doing, you've been seeing done in the community as a child. And that's very important to me as well to give back. And that's what the spotlight is all about. And so I'm so glad that you came on here to tell us about your back to school supply drive. So, how can we contribute to it?
Okay, so there are a couple different ways, and shout out to Within Reach Foundation. That is a nonprofit actually started by one of my old coworkers. Him and his wife, when they got married, they did not ask for wedding gifts. They literally were asking people to donate to the foundation that they built,
Oh,
and it
wow.
is actually it's allowing children to see the world is what they focus on. They love to travel; they're international travelers. They're always on the go.
Mm,
And so they want to be able to share that travel with the world. So they'll go to various countries. And while they may be there vacating, they'll also donate and pour into whatever community that they're in. And so,
love it.
I reached
Love
out
it.
to him and asked him to collaborate, and him and his wife were more than happy to do so. Um, so shout out to Brandon and his wife and the
Yeah.
Within Reach Foundation. But there's several.
I hope to have them on here. We can hear more
I will
about
do
what
that.
their mission is. Yeah.
I will definitely do that. The various ways. One is Zelle, and you would Zelle info at withinreachfoundation.com. That's set up through there. Obviously, they're nonprofit. You can Cash App, $ Ebony Rose Fitness. That money will come directly to me. If you're in the DMV area, you can DM me and I will meet you somewhere if you just want to buy it. Because some people, I want to donate money. The
Yeah.
PPP loan scammers, they might be doing this type of stuff too. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. I promise you, 100% of what I collect literally goes to what I say that I'm going to do. But, if some people feel comfortable going to the grocery, not going to the grocery store, going to the store and purchasing the items and meeting me somewhere, you can do that too. Online shopping is big. So there is an Amazon wish list and a Target wish list or registry. And both of, if you search the name WRF School Supply Drive, it is, that'll take you to the registry. And it has all the same things. What I do is I, pull the school list that you see in all the stores where the school supplies are. And I just, go in there and say, hey, we need some backpacks or some pencils, whatever the requirements are. And they're constantly changing.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
constantly changing.
that's good. You have several ways for people to get in touch with you. And so I'll link all of that, and I'll post the advertisement that you included so everybody can see the information.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it was good chatting with you, Ebony. Thank you so much for coming on. And let me know when send me information about your class if you want me to post it for you.
Yes.
I know you said you weren't really doing social media stuff right now, but listen, it's virtual, so
Yes, I will send it. Classes are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. from the comfort of your own home.
yes.
We have a good time.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you again, Ebony. And thank you all for watching. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Spotlight DMV, where we're coming to you with people from the community talking about their lives, their passions, their business, or whatever it is they want to talk about. This is our history, our legacy.